Hi, good morning. We'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to our February Let's Get Real. And this month is all about finding time. And just kind of as a note, you'll see that it is a what's what, which is what our presentations were called last year. This year, everything is under the Let's Get Real umbrella. Just gives us a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more creativity, just to take it a couple of different avenues. So, same format as last year, just a little different title. All right, can you figure out what we're talking about? Everyone starts with 1,440. No one gets more, no one gets any less. We all make choices about how we spend our allotment. It's one of the biggest factors of stress. And of course, as most of you probably figured out, it is time. So we have 1,440 minutes in each day. Stress occurs when there's a mismatch between our demands and the resources we have to deal with those demands. Time is a limited resource, so when the demands exceed the amount you have to give, stress can result. Fortunately, this is an example of something where you can take an action to make improvements. Time is precious. The bottom line is that our time is precious, so we have to be mindful of how we spend those 1,440 minutes that we have each day. Does the way you spend your time align with the things that are most important to you? Time is limited, so how can you make the best use of the limited time that you have? You might have more control than you realize. And I emailed several of you that accepted this meeting yesterday and asked for some examples of how you spend your time, both at work, at home, etc., etc. So here's a list of things that y'all sent me. You'll see a lot of people. I didn't put repeats on here, so a lot of people said kids functions or meetings and emails, grocery shopping. It was very interesting that a lot of you grocery shopping, but only one person puts down that he actually eats, and this person put down he eats a lot, which is clearly not true because one poor person does dishes, more dishes. All she does is dishes. So apparently you all are going to her house and eating. So, give that poor girl a break, all right? But this is just some examples of how all of us spend our time, the things that, both good and bad of, how we use our time throughout the day. So a little quote: if you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. So where do those 1,440 minutes go? Do you really know where that time goes? Most of us think we do, but keeping track might help you gain a clearer picture. You can think about where time goes by grouping your activities into two buckets. We have the essentials, things important to your livelihood, your family, your health, your community, well-being, etc. We couldn't really easily eliminate them, but we might be able to take a closer look at the smaller tasks that make them up. Not sure how much time you're spending on each of these? You can try tracking these. So some of them: sleep. Hopefully we're all getting some sleep. I think everyone included sleep for the most part. Work and commuting. Family relationships, so kids, pets. Lots of you said kids, lots of you said pets. Obviously fuel for your body, shopping, cooking, the eating that goes part of it. Health and fitness, several of you put, going to the gym, coming to the power station. Household tasks, there's those dishes again. And relaxation. Then we also have the time killers. And those are activities that can steal away precious minutes, even hours of your day. Certain amounts of some of them may be important or even essential, but balance is really the key. And again, we can track these to get an idea of how much time we're spending in time killers versus essentials. So some of our time killers: junk email and regular email. And several of you put email as one of your time killers for sure. Social media. And one person said judging people on Facebook. And we're all guilty of it. The internet, and then TV, the Netflix binging that several of us like to do. So you can really look at these essentials versus time killers in specific parts of your life too. You can break it out to time killers versus essentials at home, at work, recreationally, all kinds of stuff. We can't add more minutes to the day, so adjusting how we spend time is the only option. Prioritization is the key, and it requires a hard look at all of your activities, both essentials and time killers. What is the priority level? Is it high, medium, or low? But we got to be careful here that we don't fall into that trap of grouping everything into that high priority bucket or making things more urgent than they need to be. Are there things you can stop doing completely? Could you delegate some of the stuff to someone else? Are there projects a coworker or maybe one of your kids could do? Could I reduce time spent on a certain activity? So instead of Netflix binging an entire season at one night, maybe we limit that to 30 minutes to an hour at a time. Prioritization takes practice and discipline, but these simple questions can help you start to take back control of your precious time, both in your personal and professional life. We got a little video that kind of paints this picture a little bit better. And I will say, when we did this earlier, all we got was the audio. The video didn't work quite right. So if you don't get the video, hopefully you get the audio. It's a short video, so we'll let that roll, maybe. All right, so a few of you pinged me and said you could hear it. A few of you pinged me and said all you could do was see it. You read the words, you got the basic gist. And there was one that I liked, that the video was much longer. Basically, at the end, they cracked open a beer, they poured it over top of everything else, and said there's always time to have a beer with a friend, which I thought was a cool one. All right, so as we always finish up, what will you do next? Some simple steps that you guys could try, and maybe consider doing one of these this week. So track. Track where your time goes for one day, or even part of the day, like your morning routine, or what you do in the evening after you get home from work. Make a to-do list for the day of the things that are your priorities. Feel good about crossing things off. Prioritize your to-do list. You could number your activities from the most to the least essential and tackle them in order. Delegate one of those tasks to someone else, and then feel good about crossing it off your list. There we go. All right, anybody have any questions or comments today? Questions or comments going once, twice? Excellent. Well, thank you all for attending today. I apologize that the audio and video didn't quite work right. But I will, someone just pinged me and asked if I will share the link for the video, and I will include that on the website when I post this here in a little while. Join us again next month for our next Let's Get Real. Y'all have a great rest of your day.